What's up, YouTube? It's the Half Man, Half Mason, the Black Clark Kent coming at you live. So, I wanted to switch up my videos today, talk about something more close and near and dear to my heart, and that's sports. Talk about the state of the NBA. The NBA season's getting ready to get back in the swing of things. NFL season, we're in, week four already. So, we're getting live. We're getting live with the sports here. So, I'm a true Boston sports fan. Baseball season's getting ready to go into the postseason. Bruins starting to they're starting their preseason as well. So I'm a Boston fan. I'm from Boston. I love my Boston sports teams. My Patriots ain't doing so well so far. 1-2. Got the 3-0 Dolphins coming into town tomorrow. Never thought I would hear say 3-0 Miami Dolphins, but the last time the Dolphins won the division was the year that Brady got hurt, and we went 11-5 and we didn't make the playoffs. So it's the last time the Dolphins have won the playoffs. Have won the division. So, but yeah. I'll get into a little bit about sports and where we're going with that. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Boston Celtics. Now I watched a little bit of the game last night. Uh, I'm glad to see Gordon Hayward back on the floor. After that horrific injury 5 minutes and 15 seconds into last year. He's been out 11 months, and it was good to see him back on the court last night. And Kyrie Irving looks like he never got injured. You tell someone that he has two bad knees and play like that yesterday, I'm telling you, this team's going to be stacked. You got hopefully Jason Tatum progresses into a great second-year player. I don't think he'll hit a rookie wall. Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Aaron Baines is back. You got Robert Williams, the third. No, Robert Williams, I think his name. I don't remember. No, Robert Williams, I know that. We got most of our bench back. Terry Rozier had a great playoff last year. Marcus Smart's back. I mentioned Aaron Baines. Daniel Tice is back. This team, 1-10, can play with any team in the league. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the season. We have high expectations for the Celtics this year. They were 5 minutes away from the finals last year without two of the top players, Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. So with the healthy Gordon Hayward and healthy Kyrie Irving, I think it's a unanimous here that it's finals or bust. There's nothing less than finals for the Celtics. And I like their chances in a 7-game series. It's safe to assume if the Celtics make it to the finals against the Warriors, that'd be a more competitive series than what we got last year when the Cavs got swept. So, I like our chances. Danny Ainge just put in work. Got Jason Tatum, traded the number 1 overall pick, and got extra picks. We got Sacramento's pick this year too. So we got the abundance of riches here. And they're talking about Anthony Davis doesn't want to be in New Orleans. He just signed with LeBron James agency. So they were talking about the other day, the 3 teams that he might go to is the Lakers, the Celtics, and I don't know who the third team is, but I don't think he'll be a Pelican. The Golden State Warriors. That would be insane because I think Kevin Durant might not want to stay there after this year. So the NBA landscape's going to be good. I think Kyrie Irving's going to re-sign here. I think it's going to be a no-brainer. I think he will sign here long term because, like I said before, we got Jason Tatum coming into his own. Jaylen Brown's coming into his own. Gordon Hayward's back. Kyrie Irving's back. Al Horford's Al Horford. I like Al Horford. He's one of those glue guys that can give you 15 and 10 on a given night. I like these type of guys that we have on the team. Marcus Smart, Terry Rozier, those guys put in work too. So I like what we got going on there. So I'm very optimistic about how well the Celtics will do this year. I think they'll win between 55 and 60 games this year. So Tristan Thompson says, theoretically he was right by saying, until someone knocks us off, we're still the team to beat in the East. Well, technically right, but no one believes that. No one believes that. I like the fact that they did re-sign Kevin Love. Colin Sexton looks like he's going to be a nice point guard. I think he's going to be really good. So, you got some pieces in play, but we lost the biggest piece in LeBron James. So, yeah, no more Cavaliers in the East for the foreseeable future. Let me talk about the Patriots for a little bit. This whole Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Alex Guerrero thing going on. Brady saying he wants to play to 45. I love Tom Brady. Greatest quarterback of all times. There's no question about that. There's no disputing that, no debating that whatsoever. Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all times. They're like a marriage. Like at some point, sometimes you get sick of each other, and you got to find a way of making it work. Especially if the two have the common goal, which is to bring championships home to Foxborough. And they're off to a 1-2 start. Julian Edelman got suspended for 4 games. Gronk's getting double, triple team. And they don't have any ancillary pieces. A receiver. They got Josh Gordon. He didn't play last week, but he got some off the field issues as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes as well. They got the Dolphins this week. I think the Patriots will bounce back. They always do well at home, so I think they'll bounce back. I think it's just a minor hiccup. I remember, 2004? They went 2-2 in their first 4 games, and they swept, and they ran the table and won the Super Bowl. I won't say that this year. I won't say that won't happen. It will happen. But back then, 2004 defense was really good. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I still believe in Belichick. I know he's made some questionable decisions, some questionable choices about the team and everything. But I still believe in Belichick. I still believe in Brady. I still believe that the Patriots will turn this around. So I have no doubts about that whatsoever. So we'll see what happens going forward. I won't really talk about the Bruins. I don't really know much about them. I'm not really a hockey fan, but I know the Bruins have been. I like Charlie Cassidy. I like what he's doing to the team. Zdeno Chara seems to be found the fountain of youth. I like chubby Charlie McAvoy. I like that. And they got Donato and the other kid Donato. So I like what the Bruins are doing. I think that's going to be a fun team to watch the next couple of years or so. Especially they got some older veterans with the younger kids. I think it's a good combination, good mix. So I think the Bruins are a team to watch and a team on the rise. Red Sox, they broke their record of 106 wins. The playoffs. I think World Series is a bust for them. Anything less than a trip to the World Series is a disappointment. You got Sale. I know he's been injured a little bit. David Price. He's been up and down. He never won a playoff game. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works, to see how good, Sale and Price do in the playoffs. So, you got Mookie, you got Xander Bogaerts, you got JD Martinez. I hope they re-sign him. Hope they gave him a contract. He's the man. They wouldn't be half where they're at without JD Martinez. So, I think the Red Sox, like I said, with the Red Sox, it's World Series or bust there. But I want to circle back to the NBA for a little bit. It's interesting to see how the league's shaped this year. You have a super team out in Golden State, which, listen, Durant caught a lot of flack for leaving OKC and going to the Warriors. That was the year that was the year we were hoping to get him. That's when we signed Al Horford. We was hoping to get Durant. I think Durant was going to sign here, but he ended up going to Golden State. I wasn't mad about it. It is what it is. That's when Danny Ainge brought Tom Brady to the Hamptons with him. I remember that. So, think about it, right? It was hard to get free agents to come to Boston because some of these. When you're a superstar, you're a brand. You want to make as much money as you possibly can as a brand. LeBron James made himself a brand just being LeBron James. Now he's in Hollywood. He doesn't have to make himself a brand, but movie opportunities out there. Like a lot of opportunities are out there when you're in Tinseltown. And I ain't gonna lie, I love me some California. I love me some Tinseltown. If I had my way, I'd be living there right now. But who knows? But anyway, listen, Durant wanted to go there. He had an opportunity to go there because he was a free agent. he was free to sign anywhere he wanted to sign. And he happened to sign with a team that won 73 games the year before. That's his prerogative, you know. You can't knock a man for doing what he wants to do. But I think the big thing was the Boogie Cousins. I think, when he tore his ACL or something like that, that was that market for him dried up real quickly. Took a middle of a deal, signed with the Warriors. But we won't see him till like January, February probably. But incorporate him for the playoffs. That seems to be scary. And like I said before, I think the Celtics have an opportunity to hang with them in a 7-game series. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Houston was there. They said they would have beat the Warriors if Chris Paul didn't get injured in game 6 and 7. Well, Chris Paul's back. We'll see how that works this year. But they lost some players defensively, Luke Bamute and Trevor Ariza. But they got Melo. Offensively they're going to be an offensive juggernaut. But Houston's never been. Any Mike D'Antoni coach team has never been a defensive juggernaut. So we'll see how that goes this year. OKC, I'm not a big Russell Westbrook fan. I think he's very talented. I think he plays with a lot of passion, a lot of drive for the game. I just think he's a head case. And I wouldn't really want him on my team. Like I said, I appreciate his passion. I appreciate his drive. I appreciate his dedication to the game. But me personally, I wouldn't want him on my team. I'd rather have Kyrie or Dame Lillard. The West is stacked though. LeBron, Lonzo Ball changed his form on his shot. That's going to be interesting to see how that goes that year. Kuzma is year 2. You got Brandon Ingram. Maybe they got Ivan Zubac there too. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Lakers do this year. Do I think they make the playoffs? Yeah. They could be a top 4 seed. Like I said, the West is totally stacked this year, so it can go anywhere. The West can, the West can go anywhere. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the West. In the East, don't even sleep on San Antonio too. I'm a big Greg Popovich fan. They traded Kawhi for DeMar DeRozan. I think DeMar DeRozan's gonna have a big year this year. I think it's gonna be the DeMar DeRozan revenge tour this year, and I think he's gonna be really good this year. I think he's gonna average like 25 a game. Pop realized that in order to make it work, you have to understand the strengths of each player. That's how he got LaMarcus Aldridge back on board, because he recognizes his strengths and wanted to take advantage of his strengths and uses that. I think we'll do the same thing with DeMar. I think DeMar DeRozan's a great 2-way player. He has one of the best mid-range jumpers in the league, and on top of that, he can defend the best offensive player on the defense as well. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how that works as well. I'm looking forward to the NBA season. On the East, you got Boston. I think Toronto. I think Kawhi Leonard, that's going to be interesting because that team was Cavaliers with the kryptonite to Toronto. But it's going to be interesting to see how Toronto does this year. You got Pascal Siakam coming back. You got Serge Ibaka. You got Kawhi Leonard, obviously. See how Kyle Lowry does. You got Valanciunas. Team's pretty good. It's just a LeBron James team that was their kryptonite. So that'd be interesting to see. You got them. You got the Wizards. They got Bradley Beal. I love Bradley Beal. John Wall. They got Dwight Howard now. We'll see how that goes. You got Kelly Oubre and Otto Porter. So that'd be interesting to see how that goes as well. Indiana, I like Indiana too. Victor Oladipo had a breakout year. It gets back to that whole he started off with the Magic, didn't do too well with the Magic. He went to OKC, played along Russell Westbrook, and that didn't work out. I think Westbrook was hindering Oladipo's progress. Oladipo goes to Indiana, and boom, most improved player of the year. I like Oladipo's game. You got Miles Turner, Darren Collison, and you got some pieces there. I mean, they were one game away from beating the Cavs, so that team's going to be tough this year. So, Indiana, Washington, Boston, Toronto. I mean, Philadelphia. Can't forget about Philadelphia. I mean, I don't know what happened to them in the second round against the Celtics. There's a gentleman's sweep. They lost in 5 games, and they didn't have Markelle Fultz. It'll be interesting to see how Fultz does this year, and see where that goes. See how Fultz does this year. Ben Simmons still can't shoot to save his life, so I mean, I think the way the Celtics set up is they're going to dare them to shoot. Take the lane away from them, dare them to shoot. I think that's the kryptonite. They can't shoot a basketball. But I will give them credit, though. Excellent hire. I hired Elton Brand as a GM. You got these players that play in the league. They know the game in and out. It's great to see them get opportunities at front office positions. I think that's a great opportunity for him. I think he'll flourish great in that role. I'm very happy to see that with him, and I think he'll do excellent in that role. So, the East is stacked too. Not as stacked as the West, but I think it'll be very interesting to see what goes on in the NBA season. And I'm looking forward to a great NBA season. Circling back to the NFL again, the Rams. The Rams are the truth. I mean, I know Keith Talib just went on IR with ankle. I don't know if it's the IR, permanent IR, or the IR where he can come back. I'm not sure. But that team's going to be that team's legit. The 49ers, they had Garoppolo, but he's out for the year. I think it's a terrible break for them. I think the NFC West is already locked up within the next 4 weeks or so. Then the Rams will take the division. I don't know what's happened to Seattle. I remember going into Seattle was like going into the dungeon with the Legion of Boom, but that's no more. Sherman's with the Niners now. Earl Thomas doesn't want to be there anymore. So that'd be interesting to see how that goes as well. Cleveland Brown got their first win a couple weeks ago, Finally got the first win in how many, I don't know how many, it was a calendar year or so. So that was insane. I'm glad they got their first win and everything. So, the NFL, the NFL is gonna be a good season in the NFL too. I think all in all, it's gonna be a great sports season, great sports time at all. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen with my Boston sports teams. Like I said, I think Patriots will be fine. It's just we get Julian Edelman after this game. He comes back. Get a healthy Josh Gordon, we'll be fine, and we just go from there. I mean, so I think we'll do really, really well. Patriots-wise, Celtics think I'm going to be right there for a title this year, and be good to go. So I'm looking forward to the season. Looking forward to the Red Sox in the playoffs. I think it's World Series of bust for the Red Sox. I mean, nothing less than the World Series appearance. I mean, they got some tough competition. You got the Yankees, you got the A's, you got the Houston Astros. I mean, the AL is going to be stacked. So, so, I mean, I don't know who's going to come out the NL, but AL is stacked. But with that payroll and with that staff and how many wins they won this year, anything less than the World Series appearance is a failure. And I think a lot of sports writers, a lot of fans here feel the same sentiment. It's World Series a bust. So, we'll see what happens. I wish they got some more bullpen arms, but they didn't want to spend the extra money because they would have dropped 10 spots in the draft or something like that. So, hope it doesn't come back to bite them in the butt, So, all right, YouTube, I just wanted to switch it up a little bit, talk about something I'm very passionate about, sports and stuff like that. Drop a share, drop a like, subscribe, comments below. Like I said, I do this for fun, I like to talk about things that I'm passionate about, things that are on my mind. So that's why I do this. So subscribe, drop a like, share. If you have any topics you want to talk about, drop them in the comments below. We'll have a conversation about it, I want this page to be everyone's page so we can all share and have fun. All right, YouTube, half man, half amazing. Black Clark Kent out. Peace.